You are standing at a grocery store checkout on a Wednesday evening. The card reader beeps. You don't ask the cashier to try again. You already know. You step out of line, open your banking app, and see the damage. The balance reads negative $47.83. The overdraft fee will hit at 9 a.m. tomorrow, $35. You already know because this is the fourth time this year. You are 24 years old. You earn $2,850 a month after taxes. You're not poor by any technical definition. You're trapped in a mechanism that most people spend their entire lives inside and never name. Your paycheck arrives on Friday. By Tuesday, you are already subtracting. By Thursday, you are praying no unexpected charge hits. This is not income. This is a financial breath held for 14 days at a time. The first rule: paycheck to paycheck is not about how much you earn. It's about the distance between when money arrives and when it disappears. If that distance is less than a week, you can triple your salary and the mechanism survives intact. You pay the $35 fee. You transfer $50 from your Venmo, which leaves your Venmo at $2. You tell nobody. The shame is not about the money. The shame is that you have been at this job for 18 months, and this should not be happening anymore. You eat ramen for 4 nights because the math demands it. You delete the food delivery app from your phone on a Sunday afternoon. Not dramatically, just a quiet, tired motion. You open the banking app 11 times in a single day. Each time you check, you expect a number to have moved that has not moved. This is what anxiety as a financial strategy looks like. It costs everything and generates nothing. Your coworker Mara mentions a budget app over coffee. You download it that night. You spend 40 minutes categorizing 6 months of transactions. You discover you spent $1,840 on food delivery in half a year. You do not feel judgment. You feel arithmetic. The number is not a moral failing. It is information. You give yourself a weekly grocery budget of $65. You pack lunches on Sunday night. It feels small. It feels ridiculous. The first month, you finish with $83 in checking. Not $800, not $80,000, $83. You stare at the number for a long time. It is the first positive balance you have had at the end of any month since you were 19. You do not celebrate. You screenshot it. You do not send it to anyone. You just want to own a record that this number once existed in your account. It takes 7 months, not because $500 is hard to save, because life keeps happening. A tire, a dental copay, your sister's birthday. Each event extracts $100 and resets the clock. But you keep going. You finish on a Tuesday in March. The account reads $500.00. You do not invest it. You do not move it. You let it sit in a high-yield savings account that earns $2 a month in interest. It is not the $2 that matters. It is the first time in your adult life that money exists in an account whose purpose is not survival. It is purpose-built for peace. 2 weeks later, your laptop charger dies. $58 at the electronics store. You buy it. You do not borrow from next week's groceries. You do not put it on a credit card. You pay cash. The cashier hands you a receipt. You walk out of the store. You realize halfway to your car that your chest does not feel tight. That is the first moment. That is what you were buying this whole time. Not a charger, a different nervous system. You owe $4,200 on a single credit card at 24.99% APR. You have owed it, with minor fluctuations, for 5 years. You attack it for 11 months. You cancel the streaming service you do not really watch. You sell a bike in your closet for $180. You walk instead of Ubering. The minimum payments keep coming, month after month, and you keep overpaying them by $380. On a Thursday afternoon in October, you log in. The balance reads $0.00. You screenshot it. You almost send it to Damon, a friend who is still cycling the same $6,000 across 3 cards. You do not send it. You have learned that people who are still in the mechanism experience your exit as an accusation. You sit on your couch. You look at the screen for a long time. You are not wealthy. You are not close to wealthy. You have simply stopped financing someone else's yacht with 25% interest. The shift. You stop opening the banking app in fear. You open it now for information. It is the same app. It is a completely different relationship. 3 months of expenses. That is what financial blogs recommend. You reach it in February. You do not feel different the day it happens. You feel different 4 months later when you lose your job. A restructuring, no notice. A Thursday morning email from a name you did not recognize. You do not panic. You do not open the credit card app. You do not call anyone in a crisis voice. You open a spreadsheet. You calculate your runway. 8 weeks at current burn. 12 weeks if you cut gym in 2 subscriptions. You apply for unemployment. You apply for 7 jobs the first day. You do not take the first offer. You wait 9 weeks. You take the right one. $400 a month more than the last one. During those 9 weeks, you never touch a credit card. You pay every bill on time. The emergency fund drops to $640 by week 9. You replenish it back to $3,000 in the 11 months after you start the new job. The second rule, an emergency fund does not prevent emergencies. It prevents them from becoming catastrophes. The emergency still happened. It just did not follow you for the next 5 years in the form of debt. You do not wake up wanting to invest. You wake up one Saturday morning realizing your emergency fund has hit $5,200 and there is nowhere else for the next dollar to logically go. You open a brokerage account. You read 3 articles. You do not understand all of it. You deposit $100 into an index fund. You set up a monthly transfer of $50. It feels insignificant. It is insignificant. The first quarter, you earn $1.80 in dividends. The second quarter, $2.10. The numbers are comic. You are not doing it for the numbers. You are doing it because the emergency fund taught you something. Money that is not actively used for survival has a job. It is either earning you options or rotting in place. $100 is not going to change your life. But the $100 is not the point. The point is that for the first time in your adult life, you have dollars whose only assignment is to grow while you sleep. You have moved from defense to a tentative, early, terrified version of offense. Your new employer offers a 4% 401k match. You contribute 4%. You are not leaving free money on the table anymore. You start tutoring online 2 nights a week, $30 an hour, $600 a month, after taxes. All of it goes into a Roth IRA. Your total invested across all accounts, $41,000. It is not a fortune. It is not retirement. It is something more important. It is the first evidence in your life that you can think in decades. For the first 14 years of your adult life, you thought in 2-week cycles. Friday deposit, Tuesday subtract, Thursday pray. The mechanism does not let you imagine further than that. You are not lazy. You are not short-sighted. You are operating inside a cognitive prison with walls built out of next week's rent. The moment the emergency fund and the debt-free balance sheet release you, your time horizon extends from 14 days to 14 years. Same person, same brain, different operating system. The third rule: you cannot think long-term when you are solving for tomorrow. Every financial mistake the broke version of you ever made was a mathematically rational decision given a 2-week planning window. The way out was never better decisions. It was a longer window. It does not happen all at once. It happens over a decade. The salary climbs from $34,000 to $72,000. The investments compound. The second job gets absorbed into a small consulting practice that generates $1,400 a month. One Tuesday morning in April, you wake up. You make coffee. You sit at your kitchen table. You look out the window. You do not check your balance. You do not think about the balance. It is 9:40 a.m. before you remember the app exists. You open it eventually, not with anxiety, with mild curiosity. The number is fine. It was always going to be fine. The real number, the one that matters, is not on the screen. It is the 9:40 a.m. The distance between waking up and thinking about money. For 21 years, that distance was 8 seconds. It is now 9 hours and sometimes entire weekends. That is what you built. Not wealth, not yet. You build a life where survival is no longer the daily question. You check your account once a month now, on the 1st. You reconcile, you rebalance, you close the app. It takes 11 minutes. Damon is still cycling cards. He texted you last month asking about a loan. You did not send it, not because you could not afford it, because you understood, finally, that the loan would not save him from the mechanism. It would fund it for another 45 days. He would be back. Wealth is not the ability to give people money. Wealth is the ability to recognize when money is not the answer. And somewhere right now, in a studio apartment in a city where rent eats 48% of take-home pay, a 24-year-old is lying in bed at 2:47 a.m. on a Wednesday. She refreshes the banking app. The balance reads negative $41.12. The overdraft fee will hit at 9 a.m. She is not poor by any technical definition. She earns more than the federal median. She is simply trapped in the same mechanism you were trapped in, operating on a 14-day horizon, running a nervous system that treats every unexpected charge as a potential catastrophe. She doesn't know yet that the way out is not earning more. She will try earning more first. Everyone does. It will not work. The mechanism absorbs raises like a sponge absorbs water. She will eventually understand what you understood at 28 with that first $500. The floor is built out of the distance between you and the next unexpected bill. Every dollar of that distance is a dollar of sovereignty. The balance reads negative $41.12. She stares at it. The climb always begins at the bottom. It always begins with a number that feels like it is not moving. It always has.